Hi guys, Random Gamer here. This was originally going to be another session of Adventures at Standing Bear. Um, some stuff came up, so we ended up transitioning into a D&D Q&A sort of period where we discussed different questions we had with the DM on the campaign, kind of focusing on Adventures of the Standing Bear, but then we kind of got just in DM practices in general and those types of things. So it ended up being kind of just a chance to kind of like get some insight from other players and DMs at the table on how we do things and why we did certain things and that type of stuff. So um, it's kind of got a little bit of Adventures of the Standing Bear. So it's like a Adventures of the Standing Bear part 11.5. We basically gotten through the recap and a little bit of RP before we transitioned over to doing the Q&A. But um, hope you guys enjoy. If you like the video, please make sure to give it a like. And if you like my content and want to get more videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, here is our first D&D Q&A.
So, I'm going to do a recap. The last we left the Fellowship of the Standing Bear, they had just gotten back from dealing with Tezzeret and um, wrapping up some of Mox's old backstory ties that kind of maybe have been lingering. And in the process of getting back to Windshire, Fia had a very prophetic, not prophetic, had a well, a dream of exposition, uh, and it was in this dream that she would slowly put together that she has interacted with Troxy, or at least a form of Troxy, in every single lifetime that she's had on this plane. And also figuring out that like their origin as a pair may be otherworldly, or at least not of this earth. Um, it was at that point she kind of got a psychic sense of where to start looking for Troxy. Um, the party had gotten together, and I think, let's see here. There was a handful of conversations before y'all left, though, and you guys sort of touched upon the philosophy of how y'all should be sort of enacting your powers on the world around you because of how high up the ladder you guys are. And pretty sure Throg had some conversations too of the efficacy of making the decision of bringing the Graveborn to light.
I have returned.
Oh, I didn't realize you were gone. Sorry, we just started doing the recap.
All good, my guy. All good.
Once on the ship, the closer and closer you got to the location, which would be in Nim's Forest ultimately, Fia sort of was like responding to a heartbeat that she could sort of hear within herself. And the closer and closer that she ultimately got to Troxy, the louder and more intense the feeling of this heartbeat became. And all the while, it's raining like a motherfucker. It's just, the rain is like coming sideways, and there's it's incredibly fast gusts of wind that are just blowing the ship about. And there was some skill challenges involved on the ship and navigating throughout the forest in order to sort of gain more ground on the location of Troxy. Once getting into the forest and finding Troxy, you soon discovered what seemed to be a younger human male with long hair and just little nubs for antlers growing out of the top of his head. Going by the name of Quentin, you guys charge through this clearing, trying to get Fia closer and closer to Quentin, who at this point y'all kind of put together that the state that Quentin has been in has been perpetuating the storm that has been spreading for miles and miles and miles. Once Fia had finally made contact, there was this deep amount of sadness and confusion coming from Quentin, and in the moment of being sort of caught up in this emotion, when he had found eyes on Fia, instantly planted a kiss. And that's right where we're going to pick up for today. At this point, the heavy storms have now subsided, and it is now just lightly raining, and you can see a menagerie of rainbows being produced in this sort of large clearing of the forest. And Quentin will kind of like pull himself back from you and kind of adjust up his posture and sort of stand more straight up, and he'll just kind of look you in the eyes. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that.
It's okay. There's a connection between us, and I don't know if I just barely figured this out for the first time, but we're connected through multiple lifetimes. So that's why this connection feels so familiar right off the bat.
As she says this, do the rest of y'all want to keep your distance, or do you want to approach as well?
After the reaction I had received, I'll back off, but maybe we should find shelter and continue this conversation.
Quentin kind of looks over Fia's shoulder back at you, still looking very confused. Kind of giving off cornered animal vibes. You can tell just by his body language he seems compliant at least, and like not necessarily looking for a fight. And Quentin just kind of looks over at the rest of the group. I'm very sorry. I can help. And he just slams a powerful wide open palm onto the ground, and as he raises his hand back up, you can see like a bunch of like a green butterfly particle effect sort of like shoot out of the grass as a wave of trunks and leaves and vines kind of snakes through the grass, and it pops up out of the ground kind of in like this sort of umbrella-like shape of a tree, giving a wide amount of cover from the rain itself.
Hey, and she like nudges English. Maybe he can make a beach-style resort. Mm-hmm. Wiggles her eyebrows that she can't enjoy.
It's fine. I brought the SPF 9000 for you.
Ah, my man.
9,000.
Yeah, it's just blackface.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
oh my
literally,
god!
it's just black paint.
Jesus Christ.
She gets wider and wider slowly through the day.
Oh.
So, as she like is watching all this and she's English, is this is Fia a cradle robber? And she just looks at Fia with the wiggled eyebrows.
English,
Hey, I was worried about it myself.
Oh, I bet Fia.
Quentin looks extremely embarrassed in this moment, and you can see that his long hair now is kind of covering his eyes as he looks down, and you can see a rather large amount of blush through the cheeks.
Engless is going to mimic like his facial expressions and composure as well, signifying that he is also embarrassed for him.
Yes.
Oh, so that definitely doesn't help. Uh, Quentin will just um, uh, let's get under the tree and we can maybe catch up. Uh, he like kind of snaps his fingers and a bonfire just kind of appears in the under the tree that's creating the protection from the rain, allowing everybody to sort of dry off.
Well, we can meet. I personally have never met you in any of your past lives, so I'm the stranger here.
He just looks at you confused. Like the implication that you are kind of throwing out there, just like, you know, it seems to go over his head.
Guys, maybe we should let Fia approach the situation with Quentin. Just the fact that we seem to know more about his life than he does would make anybody uncomfortable.
I
Absolutely.
also agree with Mhox. In plainer terms, Cassandra, shut up.
No. I will not.
At this
Well,
point,
I've never really met the man, but okay.
Quentin will sort of sit next to the fire and sort of get the rest of the party to also join him. And
So, Quentin, why are you out here by yourself? You seem young. Do your parents know where you are, or are you estranged?
you see him start to recall. I've been here. I've been here and I've been so alone. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Same, pal. Same.
I think there's a saying for that. It's life's a bitch and then you die, am I right?
And he just kind of looks at you like, not sure how to respond. It's hard to remember. I woke up from a dream. I woke up with a sense of purpose. I think I'm supposed to protect the world. As he kind of looks up with a very, like, Luke Skywalker type of twinkle in the eye.
You are, in a way. I guess that's kind of our purpose together. We, I guess, find each other every lifetime and work together to protect the world.
He kind of like holds out his hand towards you to sort of take it.
I take his hand.
His head will like knock back like an inch and a half, and his eyes will begin to sort of glow this ethereal green color. And as he opens his eyes and the color begins to shine out, you can see, in a sort of like projected light fashion, two other eyeballs above the other ones flash, kind of giving the impression of more eyes on his head. And Fia, much like the dream that you had a few nights ago, a similar journey is taken in just this quick moment of the mind, where Quentin like opens his eyes, and you just see him like, you know, shed a single tear, and looks back at you. But why?
That's why I wanted to find you this time around, is because we don't know that yet.
He, at this point, starts to look around the fire at everybody else in the party. And you get the impression that Quentin has the expression of familiarity. Oh my god. Familiarity. God damn it. And he sort of stands up and walks over to Endless. Do you mind? And he kind of like reaches out his hand.
He goes, "Oh, absolutely, of course." And he like slaps his hand, kind of does like some hand motions, pulls him in, puts a hand around his shoulder, hugs him, and then fist bumps.
Yeah, he doesn't anticipate the fist bump, so by the time he creates a fist, you just kind of destroy it with yours. And he just kind of like, again, a quick, brief flash of the green light from his eyes. And he just like squints and smiles. Endless. How's Jeffrey?
Well, Jeffrey's fantastic. Thanks for asking.
You can see that he's confused by the words he's saying. These words come from a place inside him that are not like
Benust to him?
yeah, like it's like almost like he's not the one who's speaking. It's coming from somewhere else. He makes his way down the circle, and he reaches out a hand to Zaphreal.
Zaphreal will give him just a not super firm, but like just solid handshake.
Halfway through the handshake, the eyes glow green, and as the face comes back, he looks at you, and again is mustering up a handful of tears, and he just almost tackles you over, going into a hug. And through this hug, the feelings of fatherliness sort of shine through, and you instantly think of Troxy.
Zaphreal has some tears welling up, and I'm so sorry, Troxy.
I'm a cry.
He pulls back, and he kind of wipes away some of his tears. And he continues down the line, reaches out a hand to Mhox.
Mox will engage kind of like the arm bar sort of
Sure.
lock and kind of like lean his head in. Quentin, I wish I could have done more for your past life, but I did give her the chance to end Radagast.
Right as you say Radagast, it triggers this memory, and the eyes glow green. As he comes back to, you did everything you could. Thank you. As he lets go of your arm. And as he continues going down the line, he looks to you, Throg. He seems a little puzzled, but he goes to shake your hand as well.
Oh yeah, Throg was like holding his hand out in anticipation, almost like an awkward, like the presidential, like they're walking down, shaking. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He waits for a moment to come. You must be a new friend.
Oh well, of course I've never met you before. We're of course new friends.
He just kind of laughs as he slowly makes his way. He specifically chose Cassandra last because, not that he doesn't like her, but the jokes made him feel a little intimidated. So as he approaches you, Cassandra, he kind of reaches out a hand and also gives you another puzzled look.
She does a very dramatic, like, handshake, and she's like, charmed, I bet. Your grave was truly beautiful.
You see a brief moment of like fear just like wash across his face. You get this, and you get the idea that he is kind of like adjusting to the whole idea that like he's lived a whole nother life, multiple other lives. But when the moment doesn't come of familiarity, he looks to you. You also must be new.
Yes, very new. Pleasure, all yours, I bet.
Yes. Well, we may have not met, as he starts to address Cassandra and Throg. We may have not met before, but it's not clear to me. But the people you travel with mean a lot to me. And I'm not sure why, but I know that a friend of them is a friend of mine.
I think your heart tells you, darling.
Oh, likewise. I mean, honestly, they created me, so of course I get along with them.
That's a lot to unpack. We'll catch you up in due time.
Yeah, Throg, my word.
What? I was just trying to be friendly.
Is this a Build-A-Man thing? Abomination?
Well, I mean, yeah, y'all kind of did build an
I
abomination.
didn't do anything, Throg.
Well, you didn't, but I don't know.
Children, I will send the both of you to your own respective corners.
I'll slap you.
Quentin,
Ah!
We're going to press pause. So, everybody, until we get back into the game, this is how, I don't know, maybe I'll ask for you guys' input. At first, I was thinking that it could just be from any campaign, because that might make it easier. Or we can just do it so it's mine. How do you guys think we should go about that?
I don't have a super strong preference either way. However, I do plan on having one of these sessions before we start my next story. So, like, centered around mine. So, like, my questions will probably be centered around yours, but I'm not opposed to answering questions either.
Okay, well let's see. Let's just keep the questions centered around my campaign so far. Obviously, feel free to ask me anything, but since we haven't concluded this campaign yet, there might be some things that I will, plead the fifth and just pass on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to kind of use this as a time to you can ask me, ask any other player, some sort of meta question, that whatever, you know what I mean? So maybe we should go in order of Discord so things don't get too chaotic.
Maybe. For what the one that's on the schedule for September, the way I envision it is we send when we get closer, I'll ask for people to send questions, and I'll serve as like a moderator, and then kind of just go down the list of questions, and then if we have extra time, then. But that's for this one's kind of spur of the moment. So
yeah, it's a little spur of the moment. I just feel like, because the thing is, I would hate to say, all right, let's just fight something. And then Riley ends up coming back, and it's like, so.
No, I'm down for this.
Yeah, I'm down.
Because I do have a couple. I have a couple questions in the oven. So.
Okay. Well.
I'll go last. Just
okay.
Last.
Does any? Well, let's see here. I'll just keep track. We don't have to go in Discord order, so I'll just.
I have a question.
Okay, you go first.
So, DM to DM, kind of how do you go about like Hendrickson, kind of like having a squire like character that's kind of like integrated, almost like a player character into the party that follows them around. How do you go about kind of managing that?
So this is something I had to learn over time. But because often online you'll hear horror stories of DMs who have their own NPC part of the party, and
Yeah.
this NPC is just like the magical cure-all for any situation. So it's really important to like stay away from that. Not to say that every once in a while they can be the reason why something is solved.
Yeah.
Secondly, um, because having a squire, or even in like Cassandra's instance, having whatever the name is for whatever Richard is, like it adds more people in the party, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but
Yeah.
what I'll do is like I'll give some like control to the players. Like if they give the NPC a direct order, that's what they're gonna do. You know.
Sure.
And occasionally I'll like allow them to like pop up in conversation, because sometimes I'll use those NPCs as a way for me to sort of like butt in as the DM, but through the visage of an NPC.
Add some like exposition kind of thing.
Or even to just add a counter opinion to what's being proposed on the to-do list, you know?
Yeah.
But I think I struck a good balance with Hendrickson, where I was able to develop him enough as a character, but also not elevate him to the same level as the rest of the party. I know Hendrickson got involved as far as the plot was concerned, but like we're not going to be exploring Hendrickson's backstory, for example.
Yeah. Oh no, the way you did it is honestly why I asked the question. It felt like pretty masterfully done. Like it felt like a side character in any kind of TV series. They might have a few of their own like standoff episodes that they have character development, but it shies in the main cast kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can like add to that. Like I just want to just kind of like adding on like both sides. Colton, the way that you ran Hendrickson and continue to run Hendrick, like from the beginning all the way like up till now, personally helped me a lot with like the Outlander, because how you said that like a lot of DMs run into that problem where like the NPC can be like the end all be all of just like any situation, any problem. The Outlander could easily be that. I mean, the way that he travels through worlds and everything, that's what he does. Essentially, traveling with the Outlander is the equivalent of traveling with the Doctor. He could resolve like literally everything. But the way before I started running that campaign and playing the Outlander as not just an NPC, but like an NPC slash PC as well, because there are times that I let him fight or I let her fight and like actually utilize her. Same thing. I give control to the players. So if it wasn't for you, like incorporating Hendrickson with the standing bear, I don't think I could have run the Outlander as effectively as I can today.
Yeah, I'll add one cherry comment onto that, and then I guess we could move on. But a good way, I don't know, I'm sure this was intentional, but like a good way to like nerf your NPC, at least in the Into the Rift scenario. Yeah, the Outlander is actually the thing that can get us out almost always, but what you do is like instead of like nerfing the Outlander, you nerf the ship. So the ship will need fuel, or the ship's broken right now, and that's why we can't just like get the fuck out like we could if the ship was working.
Yeah, like provide the why, you know?
Yeah, they have the answer, but not the equation kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, that was a good question. Who else? I mean, I just wrote down in Discord, unless if anybody else wants to pop in.
I do have a question I can pop in
Okay,
with.
all right, go for it.
So pertaining, because I'm just Evan, I'm not throwing you under the bus or anything, okay? Because
You're good.
I love all of your characters that you play. However, every single character that I've ever played alongside with you has been like a really powerful character. Like I am sure that Throg could take on anything that is thrown at him. So DM for having like a party where one player does have um that beefy of a character, how do you throw encounters and battles and monsters at us that like are strong enough to take on Throg but aren't strong enough to just murk the rest of us?
Yeah. Okay. So, funny enough, I didn't start learning good lessons around this until I started playing with Evan. Because I've had players in the past that get like pretty like in the nitty and gritty about things, but never in such a way like Evan. And so what I've learned, I'm just going to use Raiden as an example, but like the thing is, you don't want to like punish your player character for having a like for example, Raiden's whole shtick. Like he had a lot of things in his kit, but his biggest shtick was that he had a fucking like 32 AC, right? And so like I don't want to punish him for having a 32 AC because the whole point of building a character with that bulky of defense is not to get hit, right? And so like yeah, that might suck if I'm trying to like have my dragon attack and it's not going to land a single claw on him, but there's always like every power build has an Achilles heel. And for
Exactly.
Raiden's build, it was saving throws. I might not be able to hit him because his armor's too thick, but that doesn't mean he can't fail a saving throw and take big damage from a spell effect. And so, in my opinion, it's better to try to find a way to like even like there was even times where I specifically chose Raiden to attack and I knew that it was going to miss, just to sort of like scratch the itch that Evan had with Raiden in that build of not being able to be hit. Right?
Well, and it makes sense narratively, right? Like the big bad is going to at least attempt an attack once. If they have a high enough intelligence, they're going to pick up on this guy's too tanky. I'm not going to hurt him that way, and they're going to switch gears. But you, as a DM, what that means is you have to know your players' character sheets very well, so you understand what they're good at, so you can give them things that maximize on what they're good at, and then also what things they're weak at, so that you can still make the fight engaging.
Can I chime in on this? I have an opinion as well.
Sure.
So, I know my DM style is a little different than Colton's, right? But like, it's the fun that the character has, or the player has at the table, is the ultimate goal of things. So, like, in situations where with my campaign, right, where we have, 6 out of 8 players are brawlers in some way or form, whether it's barbarians or fighters, like, I'm not going to constantly throw spellcasters at the party just because like I want to kill the group, right? But like you have to give the opportunity to feel strong, right? And that's the ultimate goal with building a strong character, is to feel strong. And in the same vein of like a utility type character, like I'll Evan, we keep picking on you, but conversely with Aslan in my campaign, not super focused on battle, like putting emphasis on the situations that the like you build situations to like to tell a story that points more to that character's strengths or that character's wants, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's all I
honestly,
wanted to add.
just to chime in, like all of my characters, honestly, all have a big weakness. Like D&D, like their rules and systems might not be the greatest, but they still do a good job at you can't get so powerful. There's not an angle that you suck at. Like with
Right.
Raiden for all his tankiness really doesn't do much damage.
Right.
He never really did much damage. He was honestly like for the rest of the team, he had the lowest kind of damage. And also like Colton said, his spell saves aren't great. Like I know specifically like my Toad character that was like a fighter monk. He was great for dealing out damage, but honestly, any tanky thing you threw at him, this isn't. I guess maybe I never really said this, but any long drawn out fights was his weakness. Because as soon as he ran out of key points and like action surge, he was basically out of everything. He could only do like 2 attacks, and that was it. So each of these characters always had an Achilles tendon, which I kind of like. That's the kind of aspect I try to play with these characters in a way. Like Throg's super strong and combat oriented, but he has nothing to help the group outside of combat. He's kind of like we're out of combat, I'll sit on the bench, and if there's any magic casters, that's his Achilles tendon too.
Yeah, I was gonna say spell saves are probably still a weak one for Throg.
Yeah, no, his spell saves like intelligence and stuff like psychic damage. Yeah, that's like his biggest stuff. But yeah, no, I will say kudos to like all the DMs here that allowed me to have fun with these characters. Because I mean, I try to make them challenging because that's kind of what I like to do, but honestly, the way y'all like take it on the chin and like work around it and make viable and fun encounters is honestly really fun.
Yeah, I mean, because that's kind of what it comes down to, right? Because for a long time, for my DMing career, I hated like power gamers. But what I didn't realize was like, I didn't know that you can just like beat them in other ways. I just thought power gaming equals bad, and it's not. It's like literally not. And
Yeah.
I'll die on that hill. Because
Yeah,
like
pretty
honestly,
much.
I power game too. Maybe not to like a super like specified like way, you know, but like I definitely shoot for high stats. I go for optimal feats. You know, I pick a race that will complement all of that. So like,
Mhm.
you know,
In most games, throw the same concept. All of those, like whatever the meta is, you can still like. There's a chip in the armor.
yeah,
You can completely counter it, but it's hard.
right. But that was also a good question. I think
Don, it looked like you were gonna start to say something before Endless chimed in.
Just because we were going down the line, it's not like a burning one because we've kind of chatted during like Starfinder nights or game guys night. But one of the things I don't remember if you brought it up to the rest of the table is we had talked about like the going to the past. Is that still something you're looking at doing as a campaign later on?
yes. So when we get to the end of this current campaign, I'm gonna because I have like 2 or 3 ideas of what I would want to do, and I'm gonna type up like a short summary of all of them to give to y'all to sort of like vote on which one sounds like the best to sort of do. And yeah, that's definitely one of them.
Oh. I don't know if we want to know what's gonna happen though.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily like what's going to happen. It's more so like
Like a synopsis.
The
Like a synopsis.
setting and what's going on.
yeah, and like what like you know certain expectations might be or whatever. All that
Because
Well,
jazz.
the one I'm talking about in particular is like the beginning of this plane or like this landmass sort of thing.
Yeah, I had an idea of like doing a campaign where it's like at like year 0.
Because it's references to like
Oh, dude,
items and stuff.
Would it have like the Monkey King and Solaris still in like power?
No,
Yes.
So, like the whole Solaris Empire thing. Yeah.
That was the
Oh,
concept.
so dope.
Could be like more the Dark Ages than more Renaissance esque.
No. This time period
Primal.
is like when like magic was literally not regulated by gods or anything, and like
So,
when
like, some of the magic
was first
items-
discovered kind of feel.
yeah.
Because
Like
part of it
holy
is like,
cities, all that. Sorry, go ahead, Don.
oh no, because part of it was some of the magic items I don't remember if this crew has encountered, but like the previous campaign's group has encountered items that belong to this time period.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, when you do the synopsis thing, don't send me one. I'm good for whatever.
Well,
Uh,
because like the thing is though, knowing what story you're getting into will help inform the type of character you make. 'Cause there might be a certain
I
type
thought
of-
you were gonna make how this campaign was gonna end, and you're gonna send us like synopsis and have us vote on. Okay, never mind. I
No.
misunderstood.
No, yeah,
Start
it's
of the
like-
new one.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like when you read the back of a book, you know. to get
Like
an
your
idea.
your
fair
session
enough.
session 0 expectations. So like what type of
Yeah.
characters fit in, that type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, I'm down.
So we got you, Dre, at the bottom, and then we'll just restart over with new questions. Oh, actually, I have one too. So after me.
I guess I got two questions. One, how do you retain all the information of your world when you're in the spotlight as a DM? Like when I did my Star Wars campaign, the world was I know so much about Star Wars, it's easy. But when I'm doing mine, I do struggle with like remembering a lot of things.
I don't know. I've recently just learned about like there's like different styles of writing, and like Kishimoto, the guy who wrote Naruto, he's like he classifies himself as a discovery writer, and I've learned that that's really resonates with me. So like a discovery writer is like you kind of like are making it up as you go rather than like
Okay.
writing it all out to begin with and then following the story.
Okay.
That storytelling style really like works with me because I'm super, I have the capacity to sort of pull things out of me that like, and obviously I have big major events planned out in the future, but like until we get to that point, we'll see how it goes. But as far as remembering it goes, it just kind of like as you can't necessarily control what kind of RP happens,
That's
but
fair.
if you can keep the story beats per session around 2 or 3, there's like the A plot, B plot, and C plot,
Uh-huh.
and like that kind of, I don't know, like that makes it easier to remember because there's less moving parts. But like, honestly, a part of it is also relying on my players. Like Riley takes really good notes, and like I can remember the majority of stuff, but sometimes the filler in between the big moments of a session, I can lose mine down. So, I could do better about doing better about remembering, but I do it. I
Yeah.
did by.
No, well, you do a great job, man. I was just kidding. There's times where I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe it's my ADHD that just makes it hard for me. Because like, when I did my almost 2-year-long Star Wars campaign, I felt very confident as a DM. But when I'm doing my campaign with Rithmar, I don't feel as confident. So that's something I struggle with.
It might come down to how much you are like invested in the story overall.
Interesting.
I don't know.
For me, like I can't put too much thought into my own work, otherwise like I like overflow my brain, right? Where like
okay.
there are some people that like can have everything completely cataloged, planned out, and and that's great and super organized, but like you just have to find the thing that makes you like feel super into your story. Like for me, it's like again like the ABC plot. I think that's a great bit of advice. But like I feel like the more impact you put on situations, the easier they are to remember. And
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
And-
I appreciate that.
From my
I can-
experience, that's kind of how I usually do it. Like Colt, I kind of string it more. My world is built from my players than from me. Like there's a foundation, of course. Like orcs are green mean fighting machines, and they do A, B, and C. But as for like D, E, F, G, and so on, like I leave that up to the party. Like if somebody was to ask, "Oh, what do orcs do on their Saturday evenings?" That's when I come
Right.
up with what the hell they do.
Right.
I kind of just because if you plan out too much or like too many details, yeah, like Cole or Tuck said, you get kind of lost in the weeds and it bogs your brain down. But I'm also kind of one of those people. In a way, I kind of pull from other references, like Lord of the Rings, as well as World of Warcraft, set out like a lot of what I grew up with for fantasy references. So that's kind of my idea for my fantasy races and how they act. So honestly, it's kind of like some of the heavy lifting's done for me and how my races and worlds go. So that's kind of like I'm more of like not unoriginal, but I pull from references that are already there and just kind of write down the ideas I like.
Right. If I can kind of chime in here on this topic as well, because it's interesting to hear the differences between all of the DMs, but also the similarities between all of the DMs as well. There are things that I do agree with between like everybody, where it's like let's take Into the Rift for instance. When I'm planning things, like one, I'm terrible at taking notes. I mean, I'll write stuff down on like what I want the world to be, or like or certain encounters that I want you guys to face. But for the most part, when I'm building a world, like let's take um like the Mad Max world for instance. Like that world was super easy for me to build because I'm such a huge Mad Max nerd.
That's
But
fair.
with Mad Max or even like the dinosaur world, before we even go there, it's like I already know what the world is. Like, and that's how I think about it when I go into these type of things as well. With any world that we've been through, whether it be Mad Max, Pirate World, the dinosaur world, I it's like I already know what it is. I already know the history of it. I already know what's there and what kind of things that you're gonna be encountering just because um like it just kind of floats, if that makes sense. It's like think about it as like your hometown. Like let's say uh like Evan comes into town and you want to take him to do all of this stuff. It's because you already know that it exists. So the way that I kind of build these worlds is just like I tell myself I already know what is in this world. I already know why it's here, why it exists. Even if I don't necessarily know it yet, I already know it, which kind of makes it
It's
easier for
the
me to
it
just pull things
yeah,
out.
it's the confidence. Like even if you don't know on the spot, you got like you know, and like what you say is going to be canon
Yeah.
tonight.
I think the
What you
big
say is
takeaway.
like finalized.
Okay, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
What was that,
Well
Don?
done.
I was gonna say, I think the big takeaway is how invested you are. So like mine comes together differently, right? I watched the previous session leading into the upcoming session so that I've literally watched what we did right before I go do it. I write out everything I kind of got planned, but that works for me. But the key point is it's because I'm super invested in my world that I'm going to go do research on, like, oh, if my planet is tidally locked, what's that look like? And I'm going to go research things of like, oh, if it was tidally locked, what would that do to the setting of the world and like that type of stuff. So I think the thing that might be holding you back right now is there's something that hasn't got you like fully invested into your world right now, and that's going to be the key to like getting
I
everything
guess
flowing.
I guess maybe it's just because my campaigns have fallen apart multiple times that I guess it's a struggle for me. So
Yeah.
I think it's
um,
the enthusiasm, not like to say you're not enthusiastic about your games, but it's you can only take so many losses before it kind of affects you. With like
yeah,
your most of your campaigns always kind of dwindling out the same way, it can be like that.
So I have had 3 campaigns that have kind of fallen apart. Um, the world that we're currently playing in was the first one to do so, and like you guys basically started and finished the story of that first iteration. Um, but there were several other campaigns that I ran that just did not pan out. I couldn't relate to the players. I couldn't um, I couldn't tell a compelling enough story and capture the world, and the campaigns just fell apart, and that's kind of a part of it. And the way I got around that was really studying when I would play with Colton, what they do and what works, and try to merge that with my own style, and then also um oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, I did a lot of one shots, and
I
the
did
not
do a lot of one-shots.
not having the commitment to a full-fledged campaign was relieved a lot of stress. There were mistakes that I made in those one shots that were kind of big and jumbled things up, but it was a one shot. It was kind of inconsequential. It was still fun,
Mhm.
but it taught me a lot of lessons that I wouldn't have learned otherwise. And
Yeah.
I think because of that, I became a stronger DM.
I might have to consider that because I know I am struggling with my current one. Because of scheduling changes, we lost people, which is understandable. But I just think I feel like it just follows this because I try to I try to be considerate and I spread my campaigns out, but then months on months on months go about because for this reason or that reason we can't run.
Yeah.
And then I try to I try to close the distance and I lose people, which is understandable. It happens.
Mhm.
But it just I just and I guess sometimes I just don't feel like there's enthusiasm about people wanting to be part of my game too. Sometimes, and that's a struggle for me.
So like I said with my current campaign, it the campaign that you guys are playing in right now was on pause for about 6 years, and it's okay to have that pause in the story because it gives you more time to think about it, and when the right time comes of oh hey, both of the major campaigns are shut down, and I have this already built, let's go. It I understand the feeling, and I felt that to a molecular degree. But don't let it beat yourself up too much about it. It's tough with the group we have, with all the different games we have running, and Colton and I both have shared our grievances with that specific subject, and it although we do have games running currently, it's hard to pass around the baton, you know.
Yeah, I
I
understand
want
that. That helps.
I wanted to say something to kind of add a point from a player aspect, because I would consider myself one of the more greener DMs of the group, and more of just like a player. I have far more experience as a player than as a DM. Honestly, I love all of your campaigns as deeply as the next. There's really like if somebody asked me what my favorite one is, I couldn't say. And that includes yours specifically, Dre, because each one of these campaigns like kind of scratches an itch in both my psyche and just I guess just mental kind of aspect and emotional aspect of I can be a crazy barbarian in one campaign, a more laid back, chill barbarian in another one. I can be a fun, caring elephant in one, or I could be a holistic, like faithful cleric in another. It's it all is fun to me. You can describe your world however you want it. Like if Colt today was yeah, for the start of this session, you come across a ginormous bunny rabbit that has fucking elephant trunk and 3 tails, I still would be having as much. Even if he stumbled on his words, I'd still be having as much fun as anybody else's. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to be a top tier 5-star DM. As long as you're having fun and the players are having fun, that's really all that matters. And when it comes to your campaign, I really couldn't tell that you were struggling. I mean, it's very I appreciate your honesty in coming out of that, and saying that, because honestly, from my point of view, I've been having a blast in your campaign.
Oh, well, I
So don't let it
appreciate
really
that.
get you down. Like honestly, I wish your campaign was more frequent too, and I've said that to like even my roommate is like I just love all of your DM styles, and from a player aspect, you all do an amazing job. So don't feel hard on yourself.
Oh, I appreciate all that, guys. Thank you. That actually makes me feel better.
So I have a round of questions still. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I also had a question. I didn't get a chance to ask.
Oh, sorry. I thought you did. My bad. You go for it.
No,
leave it to you.
I've just chimed in on basically every other question. So, so sorry about that.
I'm after Tucker though, and then we're gonna restart.
This one actually kind of pertains to myself and not necessarily just Zaphreal, but myself as a player. I have the tendency to take spotlight, and whether it's wanting to be involved in every RP scenario or like being the hero or like being the one to take first charge, like all of my characters in some way or form, maybe not Python, but basically every other character I've played in some way or form has that trait. But in your campaign, you're able to reel that in a little bit. Can you share some insight?
Yeah, and you know what? I still haven't perfected it, and that I don't want any hurt feelings. But the 3 problem players that I have, as far as this problem that you're talking about, is you, Dre, and Evan.
I assumed as much.
And like I still haven't figured it out, because I get sort of caught in between 2 sort of ideologies. I don't want to remove the power of choice from a player, but at the same time, I don't want a certain moment to be tarnished because of how it relates to the narrative. Like the best example I can think of off the top of my head was right when you found the Radagast laboratory in Fia's old hideout with her crew. And there was this whole like I don't know, like all I'm saying is there were some decisions and proclamations that were made that at the time I should have just put the brakes on and be like, hold on, that's maybe not what should be happening right now, but I didn't. I still think the story turned out fine. We still made it work. So I have insight on this, but I haven't perfected it, and it just kind of like it comes down to me ultimately having to like be comfortable with the idea of me saying, hey, no, because it's hard for me to say no as a DM, which I think you guys have figured out to a certain extent. Especially with how certain spells can be used, or like to what extent a fate point can be used. So like, that's kind of it kind of falls on me, because like, sure, I think there could be an argument made that players at the table should have a certain amount of awareness in the moment of like what this particular thing means to a particular character, but it also, at the end of the day though, it's my responsibility because I'm the one who gives the green light.
Yeah.
So I don't have I haven't perfected it yet, but that's what I would say as far as insight goes.
Yeah, like I wasn't expecting like a definitive answer, because like I do have the awareness of like things, but I can't help myself when in the heat of the moment, and that seems like kind of like a half-assed like mentality, but like I get my biggest like I get the most out of D&D and RP, and like I really enjoy combat. I like having powerful characters to a certain extent, but like like having my influence over a particular like conversation or a scenario, like really that's where a lot of my joy in the game comes from. And I try to work on that a bit, But I was just curious on what your thoughts were, because my most iconic character who suffered from this trait was Tuck Flamesworn 1000%. And I don't know. No, thanks for sharing your thoughts on that.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I haven't mastered it yet, but it definitely can be. I just need to be okay with saying no sometimes.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing, because like in a game where you do anything that you want, being told no feels kind of bad. But like when that's not flexed too often, like I definitely feel like that's okay and should be used.
I think part of
And
it
I've
too
realized
is.
that too. Oh, go ahead, Don.
I think part of it too is like sometimes you'll say yes, thinking it's only going to be this like short little block, and then it
Yeah.
ends up becoming this long block, and you're like, I've already said yes. How do I say no now?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Almost always, it's never just a little stint. It's like something else. Um,
Yeah, I
honestly,
feel like
sorry, go ahead.
I feel like I've honestly noticed that myself, and it's hard to kind of curb that want to try to throw a little quip, or oh, I want to like throw my little piece in there. And I've tried. It's kind of like a hard habit to break, because ever since we've started, kind of since Throg, my idea was trying to be more of a background character, but it's so hard not to try and to throw in a funny little quip.
Well, it's hard to be a background character in my campaign. I'm gonna put you.
Yeah, there's always some moment that you just want to say something about. It's like shocking, and
Right.
like Don's backstory kind of arc, and even Fia's. I've been trying like my best not to like get too much into it, but man, it's like with the kiss even too. I was like, I gotta say something. It's like it's just you can't not comment.
Never gonna find love, or will he die alone?
That's hard with his past.
I know. That's why I asked. That's why I've been wondering.
That's an interesting question for any character, really.
Oh, was that directed at me? I lost all sound for a little bit there, so.
Oh yeah, my question was for Mhox, and I was wondering if he would ever find love again, or if he would just kind of die alone.
Ooh, I think it's a tough one because, like, at the moment, Mox hasn't built any sort of deep romantic sort of relationships. You think about like when we go to Windshire, Mox's main thing is like, sort of like a reminiscing. He spends time with Teddy and like building his sort of log cabin, and then he's now got the design for um, sort of the Blood Hunter Citadel. So like, I think for him it would have to be encountering someone that he feels connected on that level.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, because I was just wondering, like, and not that I'm trying to like add pressure because I want to see that happen, but it just I don't know, and maybe we need to wait till the epilogue, for that kind of to be revealed. But yeah, I just was wondering because like I just because like I don't know, Zaphreal has a similar situation, at least having his wife and kid son like no longer living. And Zaphreal seems like at least
My internet is struggling tonight.
like
Things
he's
have dropped
flirting
a
with the
lot.
idea. And so, anyways, I was just... Okay. Let's just start at the top of Discord, and that's gonna put us at Throg.
Honestly, continuing off kind of the topic you were asking, is honestly I've always thought, both as a character and DM, how to kind of play out like either interparty or NPC relationship esque things, and how that would even flow. Because honestly, like in my mind frame of just thinking about each of the campaigns, there really isn't that kind of time for things like that because we're always go go go, next quest, next quest. There are some downtime, sure, but honestly, for the most part, it's definitely like a not anime feel, but it's very much like every episode there is no like a downtime or a beach episode. There's like a really just next quest, next quest.
Yeah, it kind of like, and there's been some failings on my part, and even in this campaign where like I didn't sort of establish boundaries with players, and like that whole like you know romancing and whatnot. But like
Mhm.
assuming that like everybody is on board and whoever's not on board is like well like laid out. Um, but even if it's not inter party and it's just with an NPC, you're totally right. Because Riley's old character from my campaign prior to Antipathy of the Abhorrent, she had a lesbian relationship with an NPC that
Mhm.
was like touched on quite a lot, but because of like how often they were like trying to like restore balance to the world to like build a relationship, and in addition to that, like to bring just a normal Joe Schmo into your life as an adventurer kind of puts them in danger. It's kind of the whole
Yeah.
Mary J. Watson and Peter Parker sort of situation,
Mhm.
where like you know if anyone found out his identity, they're going for Mary J. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's like bringing an Achilles heel onto the
Yeah,
battlefield or
for sure.
just in situations. And that's one thing that's kept me away because I've always wanted to do a character that's like either had a family already established or that was their big goal is like get a farm on the prairie kind of thing. But then I always come back to like, well, that's not really feasible because you wouldn't like, what if you don't come back to that city for like half, a whole year of sessions and that kind of stuff.
You just have to
Uh,
hope as a character that you live far enough in your hero career that you can retire and you don't end up
yeah,
dying because of some lich.
yeah, basically, which is always like I don't really like the inter party relationship thing, preferably for me. I don't mind it outside of me, just in mind, because most of my characters, when I make them pretty much like non-sexualized. Like they'll get naked or any of that, but they're not like sexually attracted to in that manner. Like that's not a thing in my forefront when I make pretty much all my characters. And so whenever it comes up, I always come back to that same issue. Like, how would that even work out, really? Because I know in Fall of Pride, there's like, what's her face? The half orc or half.
Oh,
Yeah, Dora and Dahlia.
Gore and
Yeah,
Dahlia.
I've always
I
like.
love that relationship so
I
much.
love it too, and the only way I like how you've done it, like, because that's the only way I feasibly see it is they would have to be an adventurer too, because it's kind of like the lifestyle you lead
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
solitary one.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So yeah, I've just wondered what your I guess thought was on it. So that's an interesting take.
I'll even say this. We don't need to get into the specifics, but the whole Null and Saffron thing, I definitely dropped the ball there too. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of moving parts there that I can't take full responsibility for. But that it kind of comes back to like talking with everybody, making sure everyone's cool, and if they're not cool, letting everybody else know that. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, yeah, setting
So
boundaries.
yeah. But that was a good question. Mox, let's have you go next.
Oh goodness. I think I'm gonna pass right now because I just don't have anything
That's
ripe
fine.
for the
That's fine.
picking.
How about you, Cassandra?
Sorry, I don't think I have anything.
It's all good.
I think you guys answered. I think everyone kind of helped answered a lot of questions that I've been like dealing with as a DM.
Sure.
But I will say that I love role playing with you guys. I love these Fridays. It's like one of the highlights of my week every week.
For sure. Sorry, tonight kind of turned
Oh,
out
yeah?
to be a little bit different, but
It's
that's
okay. Dude, she's
No
not feeling
need to
good.
apologize.
Yeah.
I'm having a lot of fun with this because I do have some other questions.
Okay, that's fine. It's technically now my turn, even though I just went a little bit ago. I'm just going to go in Discord order now, so we don't have to jump around. My next question. I could technically ask anybody this question. So, I guess I don't know if everybody wants to answer it, but
Well, yeah, we could do a DM circle and kind of.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my question is, what is y'all's favorite character and a brief why?
Oh shit. Oh,
Are we
I already
narrowing
know
it down to
mine.
your
Yeah.
campaign or
No, no.
all the
Or just in
campaigns?
general.
All campaigns.
All
It doesn't-
player
Yeah.
player characters or
Uh-huh.
NPCs.
Let's.
I have an
I'll go
answer for
player.
both.
I'll do player character, and then we can do NPCs later.
Oh
Okay.
man. I have the unfortunate being first, or no, I guess Throg's first.
Yeah. throw it in first.
Man, it's hard to really pick. Let me think for just a second. I really gotta think of every character. Honestly, I kind of want to like look at the campaign.
I want to put one thing in here. I don't think it's selfish to say your own character.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. When I asked, I kind of I meant to imply that like a character that you've played.
Oh, favorite one we've played.
Yes, but I guess
Okay.
you know what?
We
Let's
we,
just
we could
open
do
it-
either or.
Either or.
We could
either or.
reattack on the next round.
Or
Yeah.
both. Say both.
Yeah, let's do both.
I'm gonna do both. Honestly, for my favorite character, I'd have to say Raiden. Honestly,
Dude, I fucking love Raiden, dude.
he
One
was
of my favorite
honestly. I gotta say, it's honestly my biggest disappointment as a player that I didn't keep playing him.
It's never too late, bro.
I felt deep down that I wanted to keep playing him.
I think a
but
lot
it
of
was-
us wanted you to keep playing him too.
Yeah, I honestly
Yeah.
really wanted to keep playing Raiden because he was probably the most depthful character I've had in a while,
I
and
would have to agree.
he honestly being a king now adds so much more to that. Honestly, I don't know. Might have to pick him up after with this Troxy thing. What
It'd
the?
be nice to have that staff again.
Yeah, I might have to-
He's so wild.
yeah, honestly, yeah. But yeah, maybe afterwards, me and Colt can talk. Cause yeah, I'd like to bring Raiden back into maybe going around a little.
Speaking of characters gone too soon, I felt the same about Troxy. When you mentioned you might lose Aslan, I was like, no, you fucking aren't. Aslan's
Yeah.
staying.
Yeah, Aslan's honestly the the runner up from favorite. He has shown me so much more aspects of D&D, and he's I don't know. We'll see how the next session goes because he's really close. Anyways, as for another person's character, man, I'm really at a tie. I've liked Yezreel, but Troxy was so
Dude, Yezreel's
fucking
pretty,
cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, honestly, man, if I had to choose one, even though I mean, like maybe in the grand scheme of things, it was more of a short-lived character like Troxy. Honestly, the impact and the depth and breadth she brought to the campaign, was like masterful. Like I love Troxy's character. It's hard for a character to really impact, at least in my mind, for a character to impact a campaign so far that even after death they have pretty much plot points in every other session.
Yeah, I just have one comment to make. I was realizing today that it's funny because the last two characters that Dre has made in my campaign, like coincidentally, have respawned in the world as different people. Because we have Saffron going into Marie,
Yeah,
and then we have Troxy going into Quentin.
I mean, whether the DM's hand be involved, that just speaks to the depth of character she has, like the
Sure.
character she makes.
What about you, Mox?
Oh goodness. At the moment, my probably my favorites non-me PC would be John, which I know for a lot of the people in
That was gonna be
Discord
one of mine.
that unfortunately you all haven't got to see it because it's the Starfinder unless you've watched the videos. But that's his robot. That's Colton's robot character in my campaign, whose soul he used to be a living person and is now a robot. And we just revealed in the last few sessions that he's the brother of who they thought was the big bad, and then they just got the revelation that his brother's actually fighting like an inbound like swarm of insectoid sort of creatures that are trying to take over the solar system. So like
Yeah.
there's a lot of real deep stuff with John, because like kind of like how Throg has, where this what am I now sort of thing, because like John's this soul trapped in a robotic body but now knows that he has a past life. There's a lot of stuff like that, so there's a lot of depth there. And then for my that I play, it's a lot. I enjoy something about every single one of them because I tap into a different part of who I am as a person when I play them.
Yeah.
But I think the one that is the most me is Gladdick, which is why I enjoy playing him so much, because like that's the role that I can slip into the easiest, because that's who I am. Like I'm constantly trying to get all the facts and analyze the situation before I make a decision, but I have this like deep strength of like, if you're in my core friend group, because like I don't let my core friend group get bigger than a handful of people, I've got your back, sort of thing. So like that's kind of how the table works for me, is you guys are my net core friends, so
Hell yeah.
that's kind of Gladdick in a nutshell.
Aw.
So
Wow, dude. Power of friendship. Wow. I think.
What about favorite of yours?
that was Gladdick.
Oh, sorry.
Hold on. Okay. It's actually Cassandra's next.
I'll do my favorite of my own characters second. My first, and it's a damn fucking easy answer, but it's fucking Colonel Maxwell. I fucking adore that character every fucking time I see him. It is a grace, it is a beauty, it is a dignified character.
Hell yeah.
I
have more to add on to that.
I love Penelope. Like Tuck, the way you make that character makes my heart happy. I don't know why, but it does.
It's an honorable mention in my campaign when you spoke with Penelope. And
Oh my god, yeah, Colonel Maxwell is just what a guy. When it comes to the favorite of my characters, it's hard because like I love Tar. I really love Tar. But when it comes to the two that I have the hardest,
I love Tar a lot.
I really miss Saffron and what she meant to the group, and it sucks the way that things went the way they did, but that's all right. That's life. So I guess I'd have to say my favorite was Troxy. I love Troxy. I loved how
her bright-eyed soul just got crushed by the real world.
So much. Like her first adventure ended up her getting disfigured.
Yes.
And then this happened, and then that happened, and then she has learned that she's this higher being and doesn't know how to deal with it. And then her relationship with Fia was so bitter fucking sweet. And then her death, I thought about accepting the revival. I really did, because I
wish you did.
But you know what? I'm glad I didn't, because the story that we're getting, I think, is beautiful, and I think it's really deserved for Fia's character. I had to really think about Troxy and the fact that she was the one that, thanks to Mhox, got to kill Radagast. She achieved her goal. And to disrupt the balance of her reincarnation by accepting a revival when the job was finished, it just didn't feel right to me in that moment. But man, do I not miss being that bright-hearted girl.
Yeah, man.
Man, like I just want to add a little bit onto
Go
that.
ahead.
So like, that's one thing that Zaphreal has yet to come over. That like when basically Zaphreal was the one to put you in the health range to die to Radagast.
Yeah.
Like because my body was taken over and I was forced to attack, but Zaphreal has yet to deal with that trauma, and like being pushed off by Quentin like just reinforced the idea that he'll never get to apologize. And
Well,
like
I think you just had that moment.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that-
well, like yeah. That's not to say that it isn't coming, because it's a reincarnation of Trotsy for sure. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
You know, I thought. Okay.
Could I add an interesting aspect from the person that revived or tried to revive those two characters?
Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly, from Raiden's point of view, he kind of wishes he never revived Zaphreal. And in a mean kind of way, it's only because he thinks he took away something Zaphreal deserved.
Oh yeah,
like
because
a
the
pe-
whole
like a
see you later.
in like a warrior's death in one aspect, and in two being reunited with his lost ones. Because in a way, Zaphriel's end was Radagast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
It's
spent
like
quite a
his
lot
goal.
of
And that's
time
one
with him
reason
dealing with
Raiden
it.
didn't continue to me.
I,
Is like he
well,
felt
like-
guilty.
Let me add on to that, like, because if you think back to the chapter 2 of this campaign, like the first 6 sessions, Zaphriel dealt with an immense amount of depression and like self-identity, and like it took going through the path of stars and like getting the confirmation from his lover that like he needs to continue to bring what this world deserves. And like, but honestly, you saying that, Evan, I actually kind of agree with you.
yeah, I could actually see that.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for Zaphriel. Goddamn, you know, like, I think, I don't know, going back to Troxy to get to this point, what I really loved about Troxy was I let the DM just completely, because I went in with her with no goals, no objections. I just went with this bright start adventurer, and I didn't think she would make the relationships that she did. From Raiden being her best friend, to Zaphriel being the father that she needed, to Fia being the support and someone she could be vulnerable with. I thought, I don't know, I guess Troxy trusts a lot of our hearts, and
Yeah.
it broke my heart, DM, when you had Zaphriel fucking attack her, and then he came back, and I'm like, and then the funeral.
Oh, the funeral.
I when he gave her the medallion of his god to her as she was buried underneath the roots. I am very excited to see Zaphriel hopefully get some closure. I will say that. Yeah.
Wow.
I will say that's a big reason Raiden left. Is kind of Troxy was the only reason he would have stuck around. Not to like make a bad thing out of it, but that was like best friends, and also he had like big plans with her, and it all came tumbling down.
Well, yeah, but like also, I mean, obviously we found a way to justify it, but like, you know, ruling over a city of people is like a big task to fill, you know, and so like, it made sense, you know.
Oh, it did, and that's why he turned to it.
But for me, my favorite character I have played is for sure Colonel Kane Maxwell.
Hell yeah!
I guys, like, I haven't, I almost got there with Big Break. Like playing Boomy was like really, really fun. But he died right as I was getting my teeth into him. And so, to play Colonel K. Maxwell, obviously the joke with everybody knowing he was in costume has been a really cool thing. But like, I don't know. I don't typically play meatheads when I roll up characters. I usually, you know, like high dex, low strength is usually my go-to. And so I don't know. I especially like being like almost like a brother with Gladdock. Like, cause you know, like Don, you're like one of my best friends, and so like to be able to like role play that kind of relationship, but in a different context with different everything. I don't know. It's like really fun. Yeah, I don't know. I also like the journey that I'm starting to take with Kane Maxwell. I'm gonna go a full like DBZ sort of style. Like I want to like fucking, you know, maybe I'll multi-class the monk. Who knows? But my other favorite character that I haven't played though, this one's tough because there are quite a few characters that could arguably take this spot. Some honorable mentions are another one of my characters. Sorry, I fucking love my John Smith character from Don's campaign. But my favorite character is Zaphreal.
Hell yeah, I can respect that.
You know, like D&D is just an accumulation of shared experiences that a narrative is strewn through, and like I don't know. I feel like every single person in the Standing Bearer has really impacted the world in one way or another. Whether it was straight up world building because of certain places that needed to exist, or like I don't know, just the emotional bonds that were crafted. But Zaphreal, I just love Zaphreal because he started out as someone who was very much like against the idea of abominations, and it was very like very much like a holy man when it came to that sort of stuff. But slowly over time, Zaphreal has been beaten down by the world at large, and he has learned lessons with that, where like he's still the same person now, but he's way more like has the ability to sort of like accept and understand things that when maybe at the start of the adventure would have been like an absolute no-go. Like just for example, the whole Graveborn stuff. So like I don't know, Zaphreal is like a really powerful character and is one of my like Tucker, honestly, probably best character you've ever role played. And yeah, I don't know. That's it for me though. What about you, Angelos?
That means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dude.
Okay, so the second that you started asking like what our favorite characters were, one instantly came to mind, but I'm going to kind of touch base on a few others that I have played. Like Engless is 100% one of my favorites. May not be the top favorite, but he is one of my favorites just because he's the oldest character that I have had. He was the first character that I ever created, and he's been in multiple campaigns, and the only reason why I've kept him around and moving forward is because he's never died yet. He's always been like really like tried and true for me, and I based his personality really like off of my own. So I always enjoy getting to play Engless, but there are other characters that like I've played that I've also really enjoyed, all for different reasons. When I create characters, I do things like differently. Like when I'm creating, when I'm going through like my classes and my races, and I'm choosing all of my abilities, my feats, and rolling the dice, that stuff to me is very minimal on my scale. the top number one thing that is on my scale when I'm creating characters is how can I be this character? Who is this
Yeah.
character? Like what's their
Yes.
story and how can I relate to them and just and like method act like become that character when I'm playing them. Um so as far as like characters that were my absolute favorite that wish I wish I could have gotten more time with, and I'm actually looking at her
Oh.
character sheet right now on SW5E, and that is Quasi Moo Moo.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
shut
God.
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, dude. Get out of here.
I thought it was gonna be Quasi or the one you played in my campaign.
Jesus
Moo Moo.
Christ, dude. I can't
You're
believe
so
I love that.
wild.
Get
I
outta
love that
here.
fucking character's name.
Dude, I love
Wasn't that the
Quasi.
forearm down?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
Aaron,
Yeah.
I love you for that. That's awesome.
Aaron still asks about me continuing that Star Wars campaign.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love to because I like set the name aside. Quasi herself is fucking amazing. And when I got to make Quasi when we were first doing that campaign and I got to make her character, that was like at the beginning point of when I said like I'm going to transition. And so when I was building Quasi, I built her to be everything that I wanted to be. And so I got to
Forearms
put a
and
lot
all.
forearms and all. I got to put a
sandbags to go with.
I got to put like a lot of just heart into building that character, but this was the first time that I ever played anything in Star Wars, so I was like, I don't know what the hell to name her, and we're all sitting around, and Tucker goes, "You can literally name her anything. She could be Quasi Moo Moo." I'm all Quasi
Wait,
Moo Moo.
Tucker's the one who came up with the name?
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I forgot.
What?
He's like, I need to drink more to forget this.
Yeah, you should have never said that. I would have thought that that was your creation 1000%.
That's great.
But no, she's definitely one of my favorite, and like I'm surprised that her character sheet still exists because I'm like, can I even log into that still? And I found her character sheet, and I'm like, oh my god, I fucking miss Quasi Moo Moo so goddamn much. I don't know if Don was with us when we got to play.
Nope.
That was, I think, because the character that I rolled in that Star Wars campaign was direct inspiration for the character I would roll up in Don's Starfinder campaign, my John Smith character. That's where the whole
Right.
play a robot came from.
My first session was right before we went out to like right before we started spending most of our time in Windshire, because you guys were in the capital and that's where Mox joined up, and then we basically lived out of Windshire from that point forward.
Right. I'm trying. I know I still have the picture of her, but essentially Quasi. She's a Kodra G, and she's a gadgeteer and an engineer, which was super cool and fun to play. Why won't it let me
Makes me
upload?
think of that alien from Ben 10.
All I ever remember
Yeah, but
about
with
the
big-ass
character,
tits.
Yeah.
was the big ass tits. Is all I ever remember about that character.
Same. Literally.
That's the whole reason we
same.
called the last name Moo Moo because he had milkers.
Milkers, that's
Wait.
right.
Okay, her titties aren't that big.
Tuck's like, I need more vodka.
But essentially, she's got 4 arms. God, I used to have a picture of her. Don, did you ever play the Final Fantasy games?
Sparingly. I have not gotten down into the weeds of those because those will easily take me 120 hours each.
Yeah.
Because of how I play RPGs.
After we do this, I think the next order we should do our favorite moments.
Well, I was just about to say, I mean, we can do that, but technically, Clarissa would be the next person to ask a question.
Yeah.
Sure. I was just throwing my hand in for the next round. Is all.
Also, she didn't say who was her favorite character that she hasn't played.
We still have to get to Zaphreal as well.
I am getting there. 1 second. Yeah, that's fine. You can put her in maps. I don't care. So, favorite character from somebody else would have to be, and I thought about this for a very long time because like I want everybody to know that like I love all of your characters. All of your characters have been super fun to play with, and they each bring something. I found a picture of her. I just put her in the general chat. Imagine her, but with 4 arms.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Her titties aren't that big.
Don't
They are busting though.
Sure.
Yeah,
Come on now, Cole.
That's just
What's like
Japanese
Goo Goo
RPG
Gaga?
style.
Yeah.
Bussin'.
But I had to think about this one for a long time, and honestly, the number one that comes to mind has to be PyCon. I
Oh,
love
Yes!
PyCon to death.
I gone man.
PyCon is like he's hilarious, he's funny, he's quick-witted, and he's the number one character that throws me for a loop in a different direction than what most of the players do.
PyCon is so wild.
Like PyCon keeps me as the DM, and especially interacting with PyCon as the Outlander keeps me on my toes constantly because I never know what PyCon's going to say or how I need to react or respond to it.
The resident expert.
I love PyCon sass.
It's just like the backseat driving in that one. What were we in the Dino World? What,
No, we were in
No,
Mad Max.
Mad Max.
That's right. That's right.
Mad
that's
Max.
right.
I'm
Fucking
God,
Nas is
for
driving
sure.
and he's got his hands up like this.
He's the embodiment of I don't give a shit and I'm worth more than you think.
Wow. What about you, Zaph?
Okay, I have honorable mentions for both categories.
Fair enough.
So I was gonna say PyCon was my honorable mention because hands down is the most different character I have ever played. And like if I were to say my entire track record of characters I've played, PyCon is by far and the most unique in the way
Other side of the spectrum.
and like most of my characters fall under the like stoic hero or like shy like rising potential type character, but PyCon's just kind of a like he's just kind of a douche.
Well, he's also next.
Yeah, majestic dude.
I think T is the only other one I've encountered where it's similar, where he's kind of like sketchy.
Yeah, so like I took some inspiration from PyCon, like the quick wit, but also the like because I was going to say T as well.
What is T
most-
from?
Shanti.
Oh, Sean. Oh, god damn it. My bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say T, but like the amount of impact I've had with PyCon and the like the synergy that PyCon has with the rest of the group and like how everything is formed, it's just like is definitely the most unique character I've ever played, and it like challenges my RP ability to an extent to where like it almost like I don't know, it's hard to say, but
You have to kind of act different than you normally would.
oh, absolutely 1000%. Like every decision that PyCon makes and every quick like quirk and like wit that he puts out is like 1000% of not my personality whatsoever. And for that I can't not mention PyCon. But you know, I'm just gonna say my favorite character is Zaphreal 1000%. Like
I
there's no
absolutely respect that.
there's no contest, and at this point is the longest living D&D character that I have played consecutively. And
It's been a while now, yeah.
yeah. But like how I've been able to evolve him in every aspect to every story point. It is emotional spiritual and physical growth of the character. And I just it's hard to think about what I'll do next with Zaphreal because like Evan had said earlier, like if Zaphreal had died in that Radagast fight, I think that would have been a fitting end for Zaphreal. And he is now trying to find his newfound purpose, whether that's like building up Windshire or building up his team to where they don't need Zaphreal anymore, or like pursuing his goals further into joining like his team within the Celestial Plane. Like it's there are so many different directions where he can go, and that unknown just has me chomping at the bit. But my favorite character, aside from my own, I also have a honorable mention here, and that is John Smith.
Fair.
I know he's been brought up a few times, and you guys aren't super privy on the story of Don's campaign, but like, I have never, because Colton is normally the DM in most situations, like, I've never seen Colton play a character that, like, has brought me, like, to super emotional levels. And that's not to say that, like, you're not capable of doing so, or, like, you haven't proven that otherwise, but, like, and you've just shocked me on how well you're able to play John as a character, and it makes me want to play T even better. And like, I don't know, but go ahead.
No, I disagree. Sorry.
But my favorite character is Endless.
Really?
Oh.
Dude, for sure though. Like, I'll let you go first, and then I'll add in.
So, Endless and Zaphreal are the only the only like.
No, you are.
The only like true surviving members of the original group, and like all the things that I said about Zaphreal is true for Endless. And had that growth not happened, I don't think Zaphreal would have handed down the mantle of leader of the group. But seeing all the growth and the friendship and like passion that Zaphreal and Endless like share with each other it's awesome. Like, Zaphreal has like Endless is probably the character that Zaphreal trusts most in this entire plane, and like it's just cool to see that like two sides of a coin are able to mesh so well together. It's like even if like the entire party dies, or if like we are still the only two characters going, like Zaphreal and Endless together can help forge a new path forward. And
Absolutely.
It's just I just really appreciate that, like, well, just Endless as a character in general, because like at the start it was or anything, but like Endless was almost the comic relief character. Like now it's like Zaphreal and Endless have gone through so much together to where like there are thousands of reasons why I could say Endless is my favorite, but like I think just the bond that Zaphreal and Endless share. And then a close second would actually be I want to say Nizram. There are some things I would have done differently as a DM regarding Nizram as a character. I think I put you in a spot where you had no choice but to do some of the things that were done.
Yeah.
However, Nizram as a character has given me like such a strong plot device that is like attached to the party.
Yeah.
But also, even with the events that happened with the TPK, like it gave like newfound appreciation for each character, and specifically with Yezreel. And like it's just cool the amount of impact that you had with a character that you only played for about 4 sessions. So
thank you.
Yeah, just to add one little thing on to Endless, My favorite part about Endless becoming the leader is him thinking that he had these big shoes to fill, but him slowly realizing that the shoes fit the whole time.
Yes, yes, I loved that.
Well, and like to touch on that, like it's funny that and touching that, like you say that like English is the number one person that Zaphreal would trust, because that is the exact same thing, just vice versa for English. And like in a sense, like he still tries to be the comic relief just because that's just who he is.
Yeah,
That's
in ways
his
you are.
personality.
Yeah.
But like the growth there with English wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Zaphreal. Like in the very beginning, English was on the run and he really didn't care about anything or about like this adventure. What he cared most about at the time was, I need to get out of this town, and this adventuring group that I just met up with, this is my ticket out of here, and we can potentially get far away, plus I'm going to be with people that I could potentially make friends with and keep me safe. And in turn, it grew to him just loving the group and really looking at Zaphreal for just like guidance. And like Anglus would 100% follow Zaphreal to the end of the world.
Oh,
I want to add just one more thing. I'm sorry. Just on top of that, like, you know, it's not so much this now, but I know Endless better as a person than I know you, Clarissa, and like that. That sounds a lot worse than what I'm trying to portray, but like,
no.
I became friends with Endless before I became friends with Clarissa, and like that just kind of just shows the bond that I have with you and your character. It means a lot to me. Is all I'm trying to say.
I think that's beautiful.
Wow.
You know what? I like when I look at English and Zaphreal, I could see them both standing around piles of their friends and allies dead, with the big bad standing before them, and both of them just look at each other, knuckle up, and just walk forward without a fucking hesitation.
Oh, yeah.
I have to kind of agree with what Tuck said. I feel like I got to know you as English before anything else.
Which in turn, like, I take that, I don't like take that in any kind of like disheart, because like I said, like I put a lot of my own personality into English. So in a way, you did get to know me through English.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, when I first joined the group, that we really didn't hang out. Like all of us didn't really hang outside, like outside of D&D. So I really just kind of got to know you all through your characters in a way.
Yeah. But with that, Endless, do you have a question you'd like to throw out?
Actually, now that we kind of resolved back around, I do have a question for you, DM. And this is a
Okay.
question that has been burning in my mind for a very long time, and English has tried to venture forth with this many times, but it's never quite worked out. So, my question for you, DM, is when you first introduced Evelyn, English was instantly like enthralled. Like, this is the big
Oh,
goth
Lord.
dummy mommy that
Evelyn, I love
that
it.
English wants.
I miss those days, dude. I miss Evelyn being around.
And
Good riddance.
Yeah, for real though.
English's goal from the very beginning, because like it was very clear from the very beginning that she was not a good person at all.
No.
It was insanely clear from the very beginning. But
100% it was.
Saffron completely disapproved.
from the beginning, she did a lot. So did Zaph. But from the beginning, English's whole like plot point with Evelyn was like, I can fix her.
Oh yeah.
So, would that have actually been a possibility that you would have allowed for English? Like, would that have been an avenue that English could have gone down with Evelyn, or was she always just kind of permanently going to be the bad?
Well, bad and good is relative, right? So it kind of depends on where you're sitting on the side of the fence that determines it. But that being said, Evelyn was a narrative tool that I specifically came up for you because I knew you would not be able to resist. I, for all intents and purposes, set you up big time.
Oh, I know you did.
And like, no, Evelyn would have still stayed the Queen of Hell, and there would have been no amount of like, no mortal man could like fix whatever was wrong with Evelyn.
Shit, we learned that fucking Kiga Hell has troubles keeping her in check.
Yeah, literally.
I feel
And so,
okay.
oh, go ahead.
I would say I feel you, Clarissa. That's how it is with me and vampires.
I can fix him. No, you can't.
But like, I even talked to Riley when all that stuff was kind of relevant, and this was kind of before she jumped into the campaign. But I had this plan where like if you decided to have Endless kind of pursue the plot line I was laying down for him as far as Evelyn was concerned, you were, I mean, if all went according to exactly how I planned it, my plan was to have you become a Death Knight that would replace the current Death Knight at the throne.
Oh.
And you would just become like this champion for the Lords of Hell that would occasionally be like a fuck toy for Evelyn.
Wow.
And that was like that's kind of how I saw that ending if you'd never stopped pursuing Evelyn.
Oh God.
Clarissa's like, win-win?
Right.
Yeah, I was like, you know, that's not a bad idea.
From the beginning, I knew that you threw Evelyn in there to set me up. Like, I saw the big red button and I went, of course I'm gonna push it. Like,
Exactly.
I want to push it. I want it in me.
I want to push it. I was excited when you threw her in because I knew she was for me.
Yeah. So like, I will say this though, at the start of everything, she was originally just going to be a vampire, but then I birthed this idea. I'm like, what? Because me and Riley watched Sabrina.
Nice.
The newer reboot of it on Netflix, and I was like, oh, never mind. She's the Queen of Hell. Okay, Cassandra, did you have a question?
I just wanted to give, I guess, an honorable mention.
Oh no, actually, sorry, it's actually Zaphreal's turn. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah, go
My
Zaphreal.
bad. My bad.
Okay. I don't know if. Okay. So, for the current characters that everyone is playing in Colton's campaign, what do you think is their defining moment as a character?
Ooh,
Oh boy.
I have one,
Okay.
but I'll let somebody else go because I've been talking a lot.
We'll
Do we go in?
start at the top.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
Throg, do you have some words to?
If you don't have
honestly,
one for Throg because he's pretty new.
I feel like Frog hasn't had his defining moment. I feel like he's like, because he hasn't had his art kind of moment. I feel like he hasn't had that crossroad. Though I could see the aspect of like morals and things. So
I think we're closing in on it.
He's not. Yeah, I think we've like jutted around it the last few sessions. As for Raiden, man, a defining moment. Honestly, I would say a very defining and also humbling moment was when he learned he was responsible for the technology and like creation of abominations.
Ah, that's cool.
Maybe not. I wouldn't say 100% responsible.
Well,
but like you were.
Yeah,
Like you were a like.
the head scientist or like lead
Yeah,
researcher
like,
on that.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I take that back. In a way that you kind of were.
Yeah, he had
Yeah,
a
and I-
flashback where he was working with Hermione.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
like like without him, it might not like the world and everything might not have gotten that fucked up.
For sure. Yeah.
And
100%.
because when I first set out Raiden and how he's kind of always played out is he's not he's basically full of himself. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room, and he stands leagues above. Like he's cut from a different cloth almost. Not narcissistic, but of like I'm very intelligent. I know what I'm doing, kind of way.
I will say though, the thing is like with Raiden, man, like as intelligent as he may have been, I feel like Raiden like could be quite humble at times. So like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
and I think that also came with the more knowledge he gained on. Oh, I was the
Right.
problem. And that's kind of the
Right.
defining moment that really changed how I played him. Almost not in a 180, but it definitely in like a 45-degree change at least. Changed
Right.
his mentality of like he still believes he's very smart, but he knows he still has a lot to learn and a lot to make up for because of the knowledge he learned that he was the big reason that the world got screwed up. So I would say that was his defining moment, for
That's
sure.
cool. That's cool. I did not see that coming, Evan. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I think Mox is up next.
Yeah, so I think the two big ones that stick with me with Mox are the first one I wouldn't say is the defining, but I think is a big emotional piece for Mox is in the fight with Radagast. Uh, the using the fallen puppet blood curse to
Yes,
bring
dude.
Zaphreal and
Dude.
Troxy back up to lay damage into Radagast, which kind of was the deciding blows that ended Radagast. Those were big ones because, like, for the most part in that fight, Mox wasn't contributing, just because he just didn't have the skill set that was most effective, and the way he could contribute was bringing his dead friends back up for a turn. So like, kind of like how he just had with Quentin, where that's kind of something that stuck with him is like he felt he should have done more, which is why he went on the whole 6-month thing to go meet with Lolray and get
Right.
additional
Do the whole
power and stuff like that. But I think
Yeah.
the one that is like Mox's core was on the crow's nest when he made the decision that like seeking revenge was no longer the course of action. Like he needed to
Yeah.
let it go because he was never going to find peace that way. And then
Ugh.
giving that advice to Zaphreal, like the session later on the top of the buildings, which kind of helped give Zaphreal some peace of like, I need to find a new purpose because sticking on to this sort of who I was before isn't going to work anymore. Like it's not an option anymore. Radagast doesn't exist, so I got to find a new purpose. So like those two things from Mox, I think, are really like him at his core because like he stayed true to it even when his big bad came back, and uh, it was not revenge fueled or anything like that. It was this is a threat that needs to be eliminated. That's the end of it.
You know, I would agree, except I would make one objection. I would move your defining moment a little bit later in the future, where not to downplay the sort of like mentality shift that Mox had, realizing that revenge wasn't the thing. I feel like the defining moment was like bringing Kezarek back and testing that, and because like I don't know.
Can I add on to that? I just loved how he came to this moment of character, like, I will not seek revenge. And then the DM is like, but what if now was the right time? You know?
Dude, exactly.
Yeah, I think there's some good ways of like saying yes, it happened later, but I think the key thing is like the turning point was on the crow's nest. We could say the crucible, like the actual putting it in the fire and testing it and proving it,
Yeah.
came later,
Oh,
but
for
like
sure, yeah.
the conviction was already there.
Yeah, no, actually, I agree. Yeah. Wow. That's cool. Yeah, really like Mox there a lot, especially for that. Especially the conversations that came out of it between you, because like you and Zaphreal had like at least 3, maybe 4, sort of like in the same vein conversations about that. Pretty much, like, I mean, it was ultimately up to Zaphreal, but like I feel like Mox played a big role in like Zaphreal getting over his shit, at least enough where it's not like depressing his life every moment that he's awake. So yeah, that's cool.
Oh.
So next in line would be Cassandra.
So I don't feel like Cassandra's had that moment yet. I think she's.
I mean, we can do past.
Well, no,
characters.
I'm going to. I was just saying that. I think Cassandra is getting there. You know, I think that her and Zaphreal had a really important conversation that everyone's been trying to get through her head of loving herself, even though she's become the very same monster that killed her family. So she's creating these bonds that I think are really important. But I think the best defining moment of a character that I had was when Troxy, I think this is what set her up for who she was when she fought Radagast. When she saw her father figure fall, and just that whole moment is when she stood alone against that horde, was probably the biggest.
Dude,
I will hold this line.
Dude, I literally was going to say the same exact thing if you didn't say that, because I'm a sucker. Like, sometimes being a martyr is actually more dumb than brave.
Yep.
But there are some situations where being the martyr, I definitely have this fantasy, right? As a person, you know, like standing the line and fucking saying no.
Same.
And and that's around that time in the campaign is when I started leaning pretty heavily into the idea of you guys being able to use fate points, and I just feel like the way that contributed to the whole, you fucking just turn into a huge ass tentacle monster and you're just weed whacking abominations by the hundreds.
And then when that form gave out and she is just like a football player just taking steps while she's being held back, that moment I think was her defining moment, which I think prepared her spiritually for that moment when Zaphreal fell, and then when he attacked her and there was still a fucking job to finish and she didn't have time to mourn Zaphreal falling.
Yeah.
I would definitely absolutely say that moment for sure.
Cool. Yeah.
Brother, to give an amendment to my question to more pertain to yourself,
I already interpreted how I wanted to answer it.
Go ahead.
So I was going to do it based off of the Fellowship of the Standing Bear as a whole. There, I feel like are quite a few moments in time through the Fellowship's journey in time, and it's hard to pick exactly what moments were the most defining. So I'm just going to list out maybe 2 or 3. The first one that comes to mind is about maybe at the 12% mark as far as the campaign went. The group had grown to a sizable amount of people. We even had Trek playing with us at some point. Remember how you had that goblin character?
Oh yeah!
Yeah, Pocket.
Pocket.
Yeah.
Pocket.
But the party had established at least general baseline of trust. There may have not been deep relationships made at that point, but enough time. Anyways, all I'm saying is when Null gets possessed and fucking hulks out,
yeah,
and you guys have to fight him, but also not kill him.
Yeah.
And that whole struggle, I've personally rewatched that because that's one of the very few episodes that I actually was able to get onto my YouTube channel. So I've listened to that quite a few times, and just I don't know, it just is super cinematic, and the storytelling and the dice rolls, it was just so that was a defining moment because it showed me as a DM that you guys were in it together. yes, you might not be the closest of friends and know exactly everything about each other, but like this is real. The next moment was Saffron acknowledging Zaphreal for his capabilities and like passing the torch off to him.
Oh hell yeah!
That was like, as far as like a player, like talked about impact. Saffron's decision to do that literally changed like a lot of the like how the campaign went forward, especially like under Zaphreal. I mean, Zaphreal was pretty democratic, and rarely made like a decision that wasn't like approved by the group as a whole. Not to say that it didn't happen, but like I don't know, that was a big turning point. And the last one was the final fight with Radagast. I've never had a campaign that goes to the complete end and you fight the final boss, except for my first one, but that one, I don't consider that one canon too much, as far as some of the things that may have happened in it. All I'm trying to say was the payoff on a meta level with the bad guy being killed, like it's fucking the last book of Harry Potter at the last bit where like it's fucking Harry Potter and Voldemort and all their fighting each other. You know what I mean? It was, but like the amount of teamwork and emotion that was in that fight because of like the puppeteering and the deaths in general, and like you guys I'm getting just a little bit emotional. It's not that sad. It's just like
it's beautiful,
you guys,
man.
You guys really tried your hardest, you know, and it was like really clear to me that like you guys like were a fucking team, you know, and not just because you were allies and supported each other in combat. It was much deeper and much more nuanced.
It was family fighting,
and so. Yeah, those are like the defining moments of the Standing Bear, I'd have to say. But with me, that's now endless.
So, 100%, like the number one defining moment for Engless's character that comes to mind is during the battle with the sorcerer that had killed Engless's brother in the past. That
can you say that one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, so the battle that we had against the wizard that had killed Engless's brother.
Kazarek?
Yes.
Kazarek?
No, that was
not Kazarek. Fuck.
Mizkit.
Mizkit,
Yeah.
Yeah, Mizkit.
Mizkit. That was a very defining moment for Engless's character because, like, I mean, Engless almost died. He survived a disintegration, and
yes, I remember.
You did at that time, and I remember this because you did 74 damage, and Engless's max HP was at 76. He was down to 2 hit points.
Oof.
Like he almost bit the dust, and then when he finally got that kill, when he summoned the alligators and had all 4 of them latch onto each limb, and then Jeffrey latch onto his head and just like slowly pull him apart. The way that I imagine that entire scene is like he's on the ground getting tugged on, and just before like his head comes off, you can see it's a close-up of Engless's face, and you can see the reflection of him getting his head pulled off in Engless's eyes, and the look that he has on his face is very much like the look that Light has on his face when L dies in Death Note.
Oh, dude! I literally just watched a YouTube video about this shit, so it's funny.
And that was his moment of like, as like to him, he was very much thinking like as if you could defeat me, but after he got that satisfaction, he avenged his brother instantly. His pivot moved from that because that was satisfied and moved towards the party. He started focusing harder on the party. His goal became the standing bear, and I remember because after that his main focus was attacking Mizvik, and then shortly after that Troxy was in danger and Engless wasted no time to jump in to start helping her, and
Yes, I remember that.
that's when his entire just like focal point shifted from I've got what I wanted, what do I want going further? What's my future? And he saw instantly the standing bear is his future, that this is where he's supposed to be.
Yes, god damn. Oh, I love that. Oh, whoever asked this question, this was a good one.
That was me, and I have some I'd like to add.
No, well, I was about to say it's also your turn.
I have 3. 2 of them are very close together, but it was such a huge pivotal span of 2 or 3 sessions for Zaphreal as a character that had it not happened, I'm not sure where Zaphreal would be at today. First, was the fight against Null as an abomination, but not the fight itself. However, 2 contesting nat 20s versus a grapple on him was really cool.
Oh, that was so epic. Just 2 mountains of muscle. You know,
I mean, that in and of itself is probably one of the coolest things that happened at the table, in my opinion. But it's the thing that happened after, of Saffron shutting down and Endless and I having to bare our teeth, force Null down, and perform the first reversion of Radagast's curse.
Yeah, you had no fucking idea what you were dealing with at that point in time. You know?
And had that not happened, I don't think Zaphreal would have ever thought to ever have the Graveborn be a thing. And the outcome, and saving Null, and seeing the almost regret of him coming back to life and then finding new purpose afterwards, is what gave Zaphreal the inspiration that this can be a light at the end of the tunnel for other people.
And dude, the dominoes from that decision.
Yeah. And then not 2 or 3 sessions later, the Holy Avenger was created, and the scene on top of the Standing Bear's tower in Urim, as thunder is streaking across the sky, and Null and Zaphreal come to a complete understanding of each other's respect. And with the forge of the handshake, the lightning streaking across the sky, the Holy Avenger was birthed. And it was one of the most powerful RP moments I have had with Evan, and also was a pivotal moment for Zaphreal's care for this plane of existence. And then lastly, Zaphreal and Hendrickson above Windshire.
Oh my god, Zod versus Superman.
Oh, I was hoping you'd bring this up, dude. You guys fucking have a fucking anime fight, basically?
Yeah, well, Troxy is holding the line. Endless and Fia and Raiden are trying to infiltrate the city as we fly above, and Zaphreal and Hendrickson finally have come to blows of ideals. And, it just started to... It wasn't about who was more powerful. It was about, seeing who was true. And and shortly after that, promoting Hendrickson to a captain, and and just seeing Hendrickson take on his own squires and training new recruits is just, it makes me want to cry thinking about it. But
oh my god,
those are the 3 most pivotal moments I think in Zaphreal's lifetime.
Wow.
But I think you should probably end it out here with one more question.
Oh, you think so?
Unless if everybody's wanting to stay up.
I mean, I was thinking about going for at least another 30 or 45 minutes.
I'm fine either way. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, I've got other shit that I'd love to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say too.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah. Don't
so-
forget what I said. Sorry.
All right, but now, brother, it's your turn to ask the question.
I asked the question. It's
Oh, yeah,
Throg's
That
turn.
was his.
right. Oh yeah, so now we're actually back up to Throg.
I don't really have any questions I can think of right now.
So, do you have any thoughts on the whole Null and Zaphreal scene making the Holy Avenger and shit? Like anything to like? I don't know. I'd like to hear your perspective.
Honestly, to be like completely truthful, it's so long ago I've forgotten completely what happened. A lot has happened in my life,
Yeah,
so it's
for
been
sure.
like a lot of things have been forgotten. But honestly, what I do remember of it, it was an amazing RP moment, and it also kind of helped me like I want to say it helped me mentally in real life too at that time. But also the making of a legendary weapon, I mean, is fucking amazing.
Right.
Hell, I made what two
I was
fucking
just about-
legendary.
Yeah, I was just about to say you made a pattern out of that after.
Yeah, like something about me and making world changing weapons.
I think for me, like though you may not remember all the significance behind the creation of that.
Hello?
I don't hear you.
We can hear you.
Uh,
Hi.
hello. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Though you may not completely remember the significance of that scene, like that's fine. But like, the Holy Avenger is now become the symbol of like the weapon that's wielded by the leader of the Standing
Yes.
Bear.
Yeah.
And like now, I'm not sure what Endless will do if like the torch is passed again, but like that has been like almost it's become almost a relic in my eyes, like more so
Right.
than just a weapon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like that was what I set out to do because I feel like that was around the time we were really, you were set as the leader, and I believe not only Null's respect, but just a leader needs a fitting weapon. Kind of created the
Yeah.
Standing Bear's weapon.
Wow. Okay then. Well, we can pass it on to Mhox.
Okay. So with us having kind of like the planet hopping mechanic in Into the Rift, and then kind of like that's more or less how Starfighter kind of flows. I thought it'd be interesting to see like what your favorite setting is. So like I know most of the time we play in
Okay.
fantasy, but like maybe break it down a little bit more like a dreary swamp, like castle sort of thing, and kind of go around the table with that.
Oh, I love that question. Oh, that's cool. Okay, Throg, you're up You're up to go first.
Favorite D&D setting?
Throg, you with us?
Sorry, what? I was talking to my roommate.
Oh no, it's okay.
I was just throwing out what your favorite tabletop setting sort of is. So whether it's D&D focused or what are the other table sort of settings that we use, like castle background, those types of things, and why you kind of prefer that type of setting.
The overarching setting I honestly like is like the classic fantasy wizards, warlocks, medieval kind of like Lord of the Rings, like the classic D&D, like where 90% of worlds, I guess you could say, take place.
Right, yeah.
Pretty much that setting's got to be my favorite. I always grew up watching Lord of the Rings and
For sure.
that kind of stuff, so that's
Like
always
Harry
been
Potter
near
or
and dear to my
whatever.
heart. Yeah, and honestly, if there was ever something I really wanted more than anything, it would be to live a life in a world like that.
For sure.
Not to say I don't like Into the Rift, because honestly, one of my favorite movies of all time is Treasure Planet. and
It's
and
basically
like
going to be that soon.
yeah, and that's kind of like how Into the Rift feels to me too, which is why I like it. It's up there, but I can't really beat the near and dear to my heart classic that like the fantasy medieval realm of D&D is,
sure.
and it's like kind of always been. So that's my favorite and where I like to play.
Gotcha.
Cool. What
Um,
about you, Don?
so what's interesting to me is one of the at least the mood of like scenes here recently, and to like I don't necessarily watch horror or like enjoy watching like horror films or anything like that, but suspense like eerie sort of like environments have become one of my favorite settings, and is what I'm leaning more into with this upcoming section of Starfinder.
Oh shit!
And obviously the paranormal investigations, that's it. So it's interesting
Oh.
that like I've gotten into this real kick with those. So I like that, and I like sort of the like drizzle rain sort of settings too. So like I like that sort of like it's like overcast and it's kind of like just a cold sort of like setting, and um
Okay.
not necessarily swamp, but sort of like where like there's a lot of vegetation and you've kind of
It's
got
like
that.
the Northwest Coast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or I guess like the East Coast with like paranormal investigations. Like I don't know
I meant to
why
say
that's
Northeast. I don't know why I said Northwest.
uh
Oh no,
uh,
I did mean that.
yeah,
Anyway, fuck me.
both are kind of rainy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
uh, I don't know why, but it's an interesting setting for me, and I think it's just because like it invokes a lot of natural emotion from players whenever you set that scene if you describe it well, and
Right.
yeah,
Interesting. I'll hold my tongue for my go around because I have to agree with some of that. But what about you, Cassandra?
Um, I think my perfect D&D moment, like D&D like setting, is I guess was probably the nearest and dearest to my heart. Is just a picture of the OG Standing Bear with the mobile home traveling.
Okay, okay, okay.
Engless, Null, Saffron, and Zaphreal with just the mobile home, the spider, and the bear. That setting is probably what's nearest to my heart.
The good old days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it brings tears in my eyes how much I miss those days and how much I love those days.
Dude, the world has changed so much since
the
then.
nostalgia.
Yeah, yeah. So that would be it. And then just FYI, after this round, I gotta dip.
Okay. I was thinking about maybe one more question or two, if they were, succinct, but okay.
Real fast, are we? Is this the third year of this campaign, or or is the second?
Yes,
Yes.
this is number 3.
Holy crap! When did we pass that mark?
Come
It's October,
October,
November.
yeah, October, November will hit our 3rd-year anniversary.
I was gonna say I'm just over a
Dang.
year since I joined because that was back in like March.
And
Yeah.
to add, I just want to add, while it's on my mind, I want to add real quickly to what Cassandra had to say about like the OG moments. Some of my favorite moments to like think about were in the beginning days when we were traveling in with Saffron's coach and everything. We'd stop to camp somewhere, and Saffron and Zaphreal and Hendrix, like you guys had like your wagon, your own setup and everything,
Yeah.
and Saffron always like extend an invitation to Angelus to come camping in the wagon, get out of the rain. And Angelus is like, no, we're good. As Jeffrey like digs a hidey hole down and covers it in web.
Yeah. And I guess the last thing to say is I have to agree with you from earlier, Colt. I think the most cinematic and most masterclass moment was us in the West.
One of my like one of the things that instantly comes to mind that's kind of like I guess not really like D&D but more but kind of along those same lines is like playing like old school Fable, like my favorite thing, like I would spend hours in
dude.
like the graveyard just fighting hordes and hordes of skeletons to no end. I was like any dark cryptid shit like that, like I eat that up like crazy. I love it.
Okay. What about you, Zaphreal?
This is gonna be kind of quick. Um, you all could probably guess from my DM style in a sense, but dark high fantasy or gothic fantasy.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I
I respect
I
that.
Yeah.
get so much satisfaction to explaining the nitty gritty evil and darkness. Man, it just really gets me going.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like, when I'm
I will
able
say,
to
I feel like that's one of the differences between you and me. Like, I feel like I it's not like I have an aversion of like dark, messed up shit, but like you definitely lean into it more than I do for sure.
I definitely like that dark seriousness undertone to my campaigns. Like having some laughs and fun at the tavern and stuff in the campaign is always great. But man, I like the kind of like the seriousness of like shit. We got to do this or the world's fucked kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe your style, like the setting of the Fall of Pride is like
Yeah.
definitely dark high fantasy.
Hmm
Like you fucking like just kill freaking Felix like that, like he's fucking like just some goddamn pawn. You know what I mean?
I'll give you a little
Rip my eye
DM's
out.
insight. That is direct inspiration from Dragon Age Origins when
Oh,
Homeboy gets killed by the guy.
the king?
Yeah, the king. Yeah,
Ah.
and the Grey Warden. I don't
That-
remember it. Duncan.
Duncan, dude, that blew me away. Dragon Age is so close to my heart, man.
Yeah, direct inspiration from that.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, I gotta walk my dogs, but this has been a great Friday with a lot of
For
great
sure.
emotions,
Yeah.
and well, I know I appreciate and love you guys all. I'm glad that we have these Fridays together.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Have a good night.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Oh, I was gonna say bye one more time, but she left too quick. All right, then. Let's see here. Next up would be myself. Yeah. All right. I have a question. Let's see here. Evan, of all the builds that you have experimented with throughout all the campaigns, what's been your favorite build so far?
Oh man, it's kind of hard to choose. Could I kind of break up that question and which ones are my favorite builds for different things?
I'm a little more interested in overall, but like if you want to make it easier to break it down, that's fine.
So like not taking any RP or the character, just the way they play.
We're just talking about the way you built it.
Yeah,
Like,
mechanics. Okay.
yeah.
Man.
Gruzzle.
I was about to say, is it Gruzzle?
No, actually not. The barbarians probably aren't. Surprisingly, I honestly find them kind of lackluster in the power because they if it's not a nat 20 and you're hitting for high damage, it's really just not that satisfying. Which is kind of like a huge thing barbarians are built around. Not to say they're completely boring. They are fun, especially
Sure.
in battle. Though an overall like funness, man, it's a tie between Raiden's build
Okay.
and what was the other one? I think Silent Shadow and Noob.
Oh, dude.
Is
I was gonna say
built.
Noob was pretty cool.
New was cool.
Well, Noob and Silent Shadow are the same exact build. Silent Shadow was the first time he used it. He was a Echo Knight monk multi-class.
Oh,
which the
interesting.
highest level I think could hit about 20 to 25 times in one turn.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, as for damage, it's probably the highest output character I think I've ever come up with. Like it outdoes any spellcaster I've ever come up with.
Interesting.
It might not, like, one spell does a lot, but in the whole entire round, all the punches and attacks, it comes
adds
out
up.
higher. Yeah, I think the average was like around 125 to 200 damage in one round at like
Jesus.
level 20, and that was just the average. I think the highest was like in the 300s.
Wow.
So honestly, I gotta say Raiden though.
Cool.
Even though Raiden was lackluster in damage, and this honestly
Well,
could
he
have
wasn't
been.
meant to do that much damage. I mean, he had some stuff in his kit like with
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shit, but like.
And this honestly could come down to the lenience you had with like the rules and enchanting that made him so broken.
Well, I mean, I implemented it, so that's
Yeah.
just how it works.
His AC was like ungodly high. I think like with the last levels he got, I think with
Is what,
some of his
34,
abilities,
35?
46.
Well, it's been brought up a couple of times now, but Raiden did some pretty good damage with absorb elements and like utilizing your magic weapons.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
you were
yeah,
consistently dealing like 60 damage a turn.
Yeah, I think that's why he's my pick, because utility-wise, he honestly could deal out damage. He was kind of like punch me and I'll punch you harder. Was his thing is like he'll absorb. He was like the ultimate tank. He would absorb a ton of damage, and because of the absorption he could do, he would then deal it right back. Like I don't know if y'all seen like Seven Deadly Sins. It's like
Yeah.
full counter. Basically, he just takes the brunt of an attack and then deals it back double.
Yeah, man. So that's interesting. I didn't even consider Silent Shadow, so that's cool.
Yeah,
I would have to say, honestly, Raiden's been one of my favorite, not only character, but honestly as a class, like Artificer has been one of my favorites to play. Like the utility you get on and off the battlefield is just unparalleled.
I'm gonna agree with that, because when Artificer was first released in Unearthed Arcana, I played a character in the group that I was thinking that we were going to run into in Nim's Forest, but his name is Stein Matralis. One of my favorite characters I played up to this point in Colton's games, but man, Artificers.
Yeah, I'm gonna honestly probably start playing them more, because I love my barbarians just for the dumb brawn they are, but man, something about Artificers has really just been fun to play.
I don't know. Smart Holt sounds like a fun build.
Yeah, it could be
Professor
viable.
Holt, I mean, rather, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, it may be viable.
Okay. How much more time do you guys want to commit? Should we do like a final question that, or what?
I'm good with just a final. I'll probably hop off with you.
Okay.
Final question, or maybe just like some final words or whatever.
Okay. I mean, does anybody have any sort of group questions, or should we just go with like final thoughts or something, or what?
I don't really have any other questions, but I do have like some final thoughts and stuff that I've been thinking about throughout this entire thing.
Sure.
I do have one group question that will be a little quicker to answer, I think.
Okay.
Favorite NPC?
Okay.
Let's just do short wise, and then we'll do final thoughts. Okay. All right. So Throg, favorite NPC throughout the campaigns, or my campaign?
Let's just center it around yours, because like I said, I'm planning on doing one of mine shortly. So.
Okay.
I mean, center around Colton's, I would probably say Hendrickson. I mean,
for sure.
I could have given it up to Radagast too. He was a really like great villain in the NPCs and Fia's arc. I liked a lot too. they all had a good depth of breadth to them, but Hendrickson definitely the growth and just the skillfulness of the character, and that goes for even if we're considering all the campaigns. That's my answer.
Oh well, thank you. I'll take that great compliment. I love Hendrickson, dude. He's also probably one of my favorite NPCs as well.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Don?
Ah, goodness. I would probably say I think one of the more interesting ones would be Jeffrey.
Okay.
You got to keep in context too. Like when I joined, we haven't interacted with a whole lot of reoccurring NPCs since then. So like I have no basis for Hendrickson. Like he's only showed up a handful of times since then. And Mox has no
Right.
relationship with him.
Right.
And part of it is just because Jeffrey's sort of like this. It's not a character you expect to talk, but it does. And then like the insight Jeffrey brings to the table, she's just it's a good sounding board for Endless.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I will
He
say,
originally started as my animal companion, so the growth that Jeffrey has had has been astounding.
yeah. I will say some of the other ones that are more interesting are some of the retired PCs that are now NPCs that have shown up, and this goes for Tucker's campaign as well. I love seeing the depth of like where they've gone since then.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite parts is like whenever we close out campaigns, where's my character afterwards, sort of thing.
Yes.
Which is what I'm looking forward to with
Dude,
the
same.
epilogue
Same.
upcoming here. So like finding out the next life with Troxy, how Raiden has interacted with the group since he's become an NPC, Saffron, or Marie now, but seeing how like everybody's playing off of it because it's this, especially like watching the previous videos and stuff and seeing how these characters were so vital to the group, and then how now they're not in the core group anymore, but how they're still like got a huge heartstring tied to it.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I'd have to agree. For sure. Okay. Let's see here. For me, you're going to have to repeat the question. I got so enthralled with
Favorite NPC.
Favorite NPC. Sorry. Okay. Honestly, Hendrickson is an easy pick. So I'm not going to pick him because I already know he is probably one of my favorites. So outside of that, some of my favorite NPCs, I'll say it was really, really fun role playing as Professor Hermione. I've never like had a prominent like I know it's the villain, but like I've never used the sort of like evil genius chick sort of like character before. It almost gave me vibes of Doc Ock from the Spider-Verse movie. Like how it's like gender swapped, you know?
Oh yeah.
So like I don't know. She was really cool, and it was also fun to like be able to role play a character who has a fuck ton of intelligence, and to be able to have. Anyways, outside of that, I would say a collective tie to the FIA's old crew. I liked Lock and Key. I liked their whole dynamic. Honestly, Fleas was one of my favorite ones to play out of the group, just because of how like, hey, he was. But yeah, that's it for me. What about you, Endless?
So I think like for English specifically, uh like picking like Jeffrey would be easy. For the simple fact of like he started out as my animal companion, so he's always been with English. We've had a lot of shenanigans, a lot of growth with each other, and like he's always been a part of the adventure. Um, honorable mention. She. Sorry, she.
I had to do it in her honor.
An honorable mention has to go to Poddington, just because I've always
Oh,
loved
dude, I love
Poddington.
Poddington. His
Oh, yeah.
That rascal.
But favorite all-time NPC for English and for me as the player does have to go to Hendrickson, just
Yeah, dude.
because and I'll touch more on this on like final thoughts, but there were a lot of pivotal moments for English when it came to Hendrickson, and Hendrickson was a part of the OG crew.
Mm-hmm.
And from the very beginning, where English was trying to like get in touch with like the group and be a part of this adventuring group, he always kind of looked at himself as the um like the bad influence uncle figure to Hendrickson.
Or like the older brother, almost even.
Yeah,
Like who definitely breaks all the rules.
breaks all the rules, gives you a lot of shit for
Wears
absolutely no
several
reason.
bracelets. But yeah, dude, for sure, 100%. It's also funny because I'm now remembering Hendrickson started out as a coward. That was his big
Yeah,
character trait. Was he was like not brave,
yeah,
and then now look at him.
not comfortable around Jeffrey like at
Yeah,
all.
exactly. Yeah, so that's interesting. What about you, Zaphreal? Favorite NPC?
Well, kind of similar to what you said. I think Hendrickson would be the easy answer, and I've already touched on like the big wham bam finale between Zaphreal and Hendrickson, how that all played out. But my favorite would probably be Null.
Okay, yeah, he counts as an NPC now. Yeah, all right.
Null, outside of players in the immediate group, Null is Zaphriel's best friend, and like it basically, like Zaphriel hasn't had a whole lot of time to like reach out, but like especially during the foundation stages of Windshire, and like the amount of times Zaphriel reached out to Null for advice on what to do going forward, and of course he reached out to a few members of the party, like such as Endless and Mhox as well. But like, I feel like as an NPC, Null is just really solid. Is like kind of run of the mill, like is what you'd expect from a half orc, and like, but also the memories shared with Zaphriel is just too close to not.
Wow.
And also, I'm not gonna say anything that would spoil anything, but I'm gonna say, Christ,
Winterheart.
Winterheart. That's right. Story. It's a really cool character, and I won't say any more than that. But you know where I'm coming from.
Oh my gosh. That's going to be one of the campaigns I offer
Yeah.
up. Just a redo of what I've already done, but maybe vamped up. Okay, so with that being said, we can just kind of throw in some final thoughts. Clarissa, you can go first since you kind of know what you're going for, and we can kind of just chime in individually.
Right. So some final thoughts that really kind of stick out pertaining around like pivotal moments for like English, and especially revolving around Hendrickson. When Hendrickson first went missing, that really kind of fucked English up for that duration. Because at that point in time, like, we had been adventuring with each other for so long, and Hendrickson was always there, and Engless really grew a liking to Hendrickson and really saw the potential that Hendrickson had that Hendrickson didn't see in himself. But at that time when Hendrickson went missing, Engless was still so focused on, like, I have to avenge my brother. I have to clear my name. If I don't clear my name, what good am I going to be to this group constantly being on the run? And so it was a really a struggle point for English, because he wanted nothing more than to just say, to drop everything and say, fuck it, we're gonna go find him. But when it came down to is, he had to struggle with that moment of, I can't, I'll come back for you type mentality.
Yeah.
And then when Hendrickson, after Zaphreal and Hendrickson had that fight, and we were able to subdue him and get him back into the party, and he was kind of being a mopey bitch about it.
Yeah, dude, for a minute.
And Engless went into the tent to talk to Hendrickson, and the first thing he did was just smack the shit out of him.
Yes,
But
I
then-
remember this.
But then he embraced him in a hug and was just telling him, like, how, like, you have no idea how worried we were. You have no idea how much of, like, your well-being and get you back was a focal point. And for English specifically, I feel like that was kind of like his first step into shoes of leadership,
For sure.
of kind of breaking that wall of like, okay, I know that I've just been kind of like that fun guy to just like be around, but now I'm telling you straight forth, like, where you messed up, but how we actually see it. We don't see it that way. We don't care what you did. We don't care where you went or why you went there. We're just happy that you're alive.
For sure.
And kind of reeling him back into the group.
Yeah.
Some of those moments with Hendrickson live rent free in my mind when it comes to Engless.
That's cool to know. That's really that. You know what? Not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about that moment, but that's really cool. I have some final thoughts. I'll try to not get into monologue mode, but when you all made your characters, I had an idea of how I wanted the story to go, and you know what? It pretty much went off without a hitch. Every single beat I wanted to hit happened, but like just like every one of us knows, like, you can't necessarily predict how things are going to end up, and like, as the current fellowship stands, it's like so like rewarding to see like where y'all's characters are at, and like how you sort of like in some way, shape, or form stand in confidence because of the journey you've taken. And like, I don't know, it's just like it's like a beautiful thing. It almost feels like, you know, like, and like it feels like that we're all farmers and we look out to our field and it's just like bountiful with fruit and vegetables, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, a lot of that comes down to us being a really solid table and close friends that play consistently with each other. But like, it's also the time we take to develop the character. I don't know, it's cool. And like, I don't know, I'm, like Don said, I'm really, really excited about the epilogue, and like, I'm really like anticipating like how your guys' stories end, you know? And that's it for me as far as final thoughts.
I have one tidbit as a little tease for the future. I think in order to get more fulfillment from current life and teaching and everything that Zaphreal has that he's struggling with, I think Zaphreal's going to look for a new squire.
Oh, go round 2.
Because I think Zaphreal is pretty close to his retiring mark.
Yeah, probably, right? Wow, interesting.
So the only thing I got is I just wanted to hit on the sort of what sticks out to me about us doing this in the first place is as a table how much we've grown. You look at like everybody in this currently in Discord, and then most of the people that aren't have dabbled in some form of DMing because we've all been inspired by like and feel welcome to try something new. You guys have all let me run Call of Cthulhu. We've done Starfinder. We're gonna jump into some poker roll. So like embracing some of these other sort of settings and like tabletop styles is a testament to like how open of a group we are and how well we mesh together, because anytime you go on the Reddit boards, the number one thing you ever see is there's always some one problem player, if not multiple problem players, or the way the DM's running doesn't work with the players, and there's just it doesn't mesh and it doesn't succeed. We just talked about this has been running for up to 3 years now, and it's because one, everybody's invested, and
100%.
two, it's the personalities at the table kind of find their way to kind of come together, which is really cool. And it's cool to be a part of that. So
Yeah, dude, seriously.
the only sorry, go ahead.
I just want to add to that, like I've watched so much content on YouTube about like how to handle certain like problematic situations, you know, and like I've heard all the horror stories of everything in between, like bad DM, bad players, and a mix of both or whatever, and like I don't know, like I really think it's just like I don't know, we're all close, we're all friends, like we're like I don't know, it's something to do with our relationship that we have outside of the table, but like I literally feel lucky, you know what I mean? Like I think what we have isn't necessarily that common, and to boot, it's every Friday. Even if there is a good group, sometimes they don't even get together every like 2 months. You know what I mean? So yeah. Sorry, Don. You can finish.
No, that was good. Because the only other thing I was going to do is I was going to put a plug out for the poker roll session on my birthday. Feel free to bring your kids. We're going to have a water slide for Artemis's birthday for the whole weekend. So even if you're not wanting to play, feel free to come by and listen in. Food, sort of thing. I'll send out a thing to kind of get a better head count. But like, I'm super excited.
We're doing this in person.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And part of the reason why I want a head count for like who's actually playing is I make binders and stuff for my players so that they have a frame of reference when we're playing in person. But yeah, I'm excited. And once again, it's because you guys are willing to let me throw a completely fucking new system at you.
Wow.
Well, I think I'm gonna hop out of here, but I think this was a nice change of pace, and like the campaign's been running for 3 years, and we haven't done anything like this, and it's cool and it's humble and like I don't know.
Wow.
Evan, do you have any parting shots?
Yeah, I was actually gonna mention, since we're doing maybe a switcheroo with Throg and Raiden. Honestly, kind of thinking here, sitting here thinking about the what was it, like the impactful moments, basically of like the characters. Honestly, the more I think about it, really Throg did have his, in a way, kind of realizing his place in the world really isn't a thunder giant like he used to be, but more of a graveborn, and how he could be an ambassador for his newfound people.
That's why I was going to like when you were you had said that I debated you, because that's exactly why. Like, I mean, yes, it's true. Throg hasn't been chosen yet, as far as backstories, all that stuff goes. But you have just planted the exact amount of seeds I'm gonna need to grow when harvest time comes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
you just did a lot of the legwork kind of achieving that, and that's why I feel like it definitely could be a defining moment.
Yeah, but no, yeah, that's kind of it. Honestly, I love this group.
Wow, what a world.
What a world.
There it is.
There it is. Put it on a t-shirt, everybody.
Evan, we can talk for a little bit if you want to, but as far as everyone else goes, tonight was fun. I think we definitely need to do this again, but after the epilogue happens, and that way we can ask a little bit more prying questions. But yeah, that's a wrap, y'all.
Sweet.
Good night, you guys.
I'll see you
Night.
tomorrow, Don.
Yeah, I'm
Good
excited.
night.